Panther Nation podcast. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, cut it. Cut right. And I would like to introduce one of the hottest podcasts in Carolina history. Let's go. Yo, talk, let's chat. We got time to chop it up. Talking analytics and fantasy draft. You know what's up. Panther Nation representing, cause this is where we talk that. Talk that's so incredible, make them rewind that talk back. Pause. Talking Panthers football, we discussing it all. On and off the field, you know exactly who to call. You know we the #1 podcast. Competition is non-existent, you need to stop that. Pause. It's an honor to be a Panther fan, pause. At Bank of America, that is where we ball. Coming to the jungle, then you gonna feel the pause. Winning the trophy for the city, it is the call. Black, white, and blue, we going Carolina strong. And this is the conversation where everyone belongs. Discussing all the numbers and topics, you know we got it. We the hottest podcast, and we popping, let's go.
QueenCityPodcastNetwork.com.
Yo, what's good? Hey, look, part 2. We had a little dry run. Yeah, we had a little dry run. That was funny.
That was hilarious, bro.
That was funny.
hilarious.
So we were live. We were quote unquote live for about 2 minutes before Dave realized we weren't even live. So that's my fault. My computer is tripping. So I'm a little off because my computer is jacked up. I'm not something isn't right over here. But that was pretty funny. We was just talking. We was about to get into the content and everything. We was about to get straight to it, and nobody watching, bro. That was pretty funny.
I even did this. Appreciate the super chat, Maddie B,
and everything, bro. We was in midstream form, not even streaming, bro. That was pretty funny. That was pretty funny.
Awesome draft coverage this weekend, fellas. I know it's early, but I feel the moves Dan Morgan made wins the Burns trade as we build the future of this team. It's a great time to be a Panthers fan. Keep pounding. Appreciate the super chat, Maddie B.
Yeah, man. That was pretty funny.
That was hilarious.
All right, so we're gonna skip the particulars. Like I said on the stream before the stream, we already saw each other this weekend, so we already know what time it is. We're gonna get straight to the content because it's a lot to talk about. And I don't want to end up having to rush through it. So we're gonna get straight to the particulars and get right to it. All right. So y'all know what time to stay on the prowl, all that good stuff. And we got to get straight to the content. All right, Dave. So the first things first, right after the draft, right? I mean, I'm talking about right. Well, one thing I got to talk about this weekend. One thing, real quick, before we get into it. One thing, yep. Dave. I was doing some community service. Shout out to March of Dimes, and you'll never guess who I ran into at March of Dimes.
Who'd you run into?
Take a wild guess.
Icky Quanu?
Not Icky. In alignment with that, but not that side of the football.
Oh God. Thomas Davis?
No. Current player.
Stout Tuttle.
No. Derek Brown, Dave. Derek Brown was at March of Dimes. I didn't say nothing to him because he was with his family. But salute to Derek Brown. He was out there supporting I think one of the board members of March of Dimes. His obviously was impacted by March of Dimes, had a premature kid, and ran to Derek Brown. He was out there real low key. Nobody really even went up to him that entire. I don't think people knew who Derek Brown was. I knew he was, obviously. I told my wife, I was like, look, man, it's Derek Brown over there, bro. Like I wanted to go up there and get a picture, but at the same time, I respected that.
You could at least been like, hey, we'd love to have you on the show. You did our intro. I'm not
like that, bro. I'm not like that, bro. I'm not like, because I would expect the same if it was, somebody pulling up to me. Like, yo, I don't want nobody just pulling up to me with my family.
I feel you, dog.
I'm in family mode. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah,
like,
I'm like that too. So I think I told you this before. When we went to Miami before our cruise, years ago, De La Soul was there. Pops from De La Soul was with his kid with the stroller, and I was like, all right. I was like fanning out, but then I was like, he's with his family. I can't do it. Like, I just can't. Yeah. I can't do those type of things. I can't. No matter who it is. Yeah, out of respect to him and his family.
Bro. He was like in super dad mode. He was like carrying his kid And I was like, man, there's no way I could go up there and like fan out.
Nah.
He's laid back. I mean, I'm sure he wouldn't have mind. But I didn't want to. His wife was there. He had about 3 or 4 kids there. And he was playing football with it was dope. It was dope. And he was real low key. Nobody knew who he was, essentially. Everybody was. So that was dope, man. Super, super dope dude. But anyway, I forgot about that. I did want to share that because I was going to share it on X, but I forgot. So I wanted to share that before we got started. All right, Dave, we got to talk about this because right after the draft, immediately after the draft was over.
During the post-draft press conference, he pretty much said he was going to exercise the deal.
Right. And so obviously the Panthers, I'm not sure if things would have changed had they drafted a guy, but they didn't draft a guy. And so Ike Ekwonu gets his 5th-year option picked up. And I'm hoping that he builds upon he's been getting better every season. So hopefully he has his best season in the midst of him potentially getting paid. And obviously we know linemen get paid, but I wonder, I mean, I'm just being a little bit of a, devil's advocate here. Do you think Ike Ekwonu gets a long-term extension with the Carolina Panthers?
I think that's to be determined.
Same.
And the reason why I think that, but it's a tough spot. And the reason why is you have Moton, who's up there. He's probably got a couple more years left. And then you have Ike here with what, in essence, he's pretty much on a contract year in essence. So it wouldn't shock me if they make the decision to move on if they don't see enough vast improvements. I think it would have been a big factor in that 5th-year option if we would have drafted a guy this last weekend. Like, I don't think it's an accident they didn't mention it until after the draft. Like, I think that's intentional.
Yeah,
that's intentional, right?
Yeah, I agree. I don't know, man, because you got to think you can't pay everybody, bro. Like, you got Robert Hunt. I mean, you got it's too many guys. You got Moton is getting a big bag. Lewis is getting a bag. Like, all these guys, you can't pay everybody. So I don't know if I don't see Moton get. I just don't know, bro. I don't know, man. I mean, I don't see
when we get into the draft discussions, you'll understand why I feel how I feel about certain things. Only because I think they realize that one of these guys isn't going to be here, and I think they're trying to figure that out. And I think part of that was the draft, and we didn't draft one, so they're still trying to figure that out. So I think in a perfect world, they probably would have tried to get somebody to develop so they could make a rational decision. Because I could have seen a scenario where you draft a guy. We'll get into it now. You draft a guy, and then if Moton continues to progress, then you make the decision to extend him, and then you walk away from Moton. I mean, if Ike progresses, excuse me, I said Moton progresses. If Ike progresses, then you have a guy drafted that's been in development, and then you can walk away from Moton in that contract after this year. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and like people are saying, Moton is he's getting older, but y'all got to remember, linemen in particular can play for a long time, bro. Like, we've seen, I forgot my man name that played for who he played for. I mean, he for the Rams. My man played until he was about 40 years old. You know what I mean? So, and effectively, right? So he is up there in age, but he can play. Moton, I'm talking about, can play a long time, right? So I know we talking about Moton on the last few years of his deal, blah, 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 blah. Whitworth, there you go. Thank y'all. But he could go into his late 30s or mid to late 30s. You know what I mean? They could extend him again if he's playing effectively. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I wouldn't say I wouldn't just count my bags on that on Moton just being done. And, that we could shift that money from Moton to Ike. I don't see them paying 4 guys across that offensive line. I just don't see it. I don't see them paying Moton. Hold on, Dave. I don't see them paying Moton, Hunt, Lewis, and Ike. I do not see that happening at all. Go ahead, Dave.
I agree with you, but then it goes back to what we did in the draft, right? Like, that's what it goes back to for me, right? I completely agree that we're not going to pay all those people, but it goes back to what we did in the draft. But we'll have, like I said, we'll have this. So I'm happy that Icky got his 5th-year option. That gives them a little bit more time to figure this out because somebody's going to have to go. It might be both, but I don't see that happening. So we'll see.
We will see.
We're going to see.
It's all good because guess what? Y'all keep saying the Eagles are doing it. Yeah, they are. They're in a window. You know what I mean? We might get aggressive in that manner too. We could in fact do it. But are the guys that on our roster at the caliber of being paid that level? You know what I mean?
This is valid.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. We got the most expensive offensive line in the league, and we ain't even paying Icky yet. We're not even paying him. You know what I mean? So, no, other teams aren't doing it. So don't tell me other teams are doing it when they're not, and we got the most expensive one.
Yep. I got 2 super chats we got to hit. Dave, do you still believe you can take Dan Morgan's money in a poker game after the selections in the draft? Thanks for the coverage. No, I do not. I would have lost my shirt. This poker game was A1, man. Shout out to him. Appreciate the super chat, Teach Real Knowledge. And Carson 1, as a Panthers Ohio State fan, Ransom has been my favorite player for 2 years now. Or 8 in sports because of him. You will see his impact in the run. Trust me. We're gonna see. We're gonna talk about the draft picks soon. Appreciate the super chat, Carson 1.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, that's Icky, man. Icky, I'm happy to see it. I think he's still got a little bit to prove before I'm throwing a big bag at him. I don't think he's quite hit that. Again, he's playing great. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to diminish what he's been doing because he's gotten better every year. He's getting better, and I think that it could be possible. But y'all keep talking about all that, but there's another contract looming too in 2 years, and I'll leave it at that. There's another contract coming. There's another contract coming,
and it's a big one too.
A big one. There's another contract coming in a couple years.
$50 million minimum, big one.
Easily.
Yeah.
So,
and you know what? Everybody. And I already know. I can already envision the Panthers dialogue in 2027. Like I already sense it. I already hear it. I already see it. No matter what happens in the next 2 years, I already see it. I already know how it's gonna go down. He ain't worth $50 million. He damn sure ain't worth 55. And there's some bums getting $50 million, guys. I just want y'all to know that. There's some bums.
Oh, yeah, he getting 50. Yeah,
he easily getting 50. So just get ready.
And he gonna be balling. He gonna be balling next couple years. So he definitely.
It's gonna probably be close to 60. He gonna probably be the highest paid quarterback in the league for like 5 days. Like I'm serious. Like just what happened with JC. He gonna be the highest paid in the league for a couple days. It's gonna be imperative that we get the deal done sooner than later, too, guys. So
facts.
The sooner we get it, the cheaper it'll be. Yeah, Sam Darnold's getting $40 million, guys. Like, let's like there shouldn't be a debate here.
All right.
Before we get to this, shout out to Chester for the super chat. Did our Rooks sign our contracts yet? Genty got a bag, bro. Well, I mean, Genty's a top 10 pick. He's gonna get a bag, but I don't think anybody has signed yet.
There's a rookie scale, so like, guys in the top 10 are gonna get bags. I have not seen anybody from our squad get announced their deal yet. So,
it's early,
when that happens, we'll talk about it and we'll break it down. But there's a rookie scale, so nothing is gonna be too crazy. But obviously, T-Mac being a top 10 pick, he's gonna get paid, right? So that's just what it is, and that's why there's a hesitancy in drafting guys in the top 10, especially running backs, because they're already now Genty's one of the highest paid running backs already, and he ain't played a snap in the NFL. You know what I mean? So it is what it is there. All right, Dave, let's move on. Because we did make a waiver claim. MJ Devonshire, I don't know how you say his name, 24 years old. He was waived by the Raiders on Friday afternoon. This is just prior to the start of the second day in the draft. He is, he's had a 5-year collegiate career between the Kentucky and Pittsburgh. And so, Dave, any thoughts on us picking up a DB?
No, I mean, we needed one. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not he's going to make the team or not. He's very young, so if he's got some level of potential, it ought to be a good thing for us. But if he was on waivers, that says something. But we'll see how the competition is. I mean, CB2 is definitely up for grabs. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see. Yeah. I'm not leaning towards camp body, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, so yeah, we will see with him. Again, he was a 7th round pick for the Raiders in 2024. Spent the entire team on the team's practice squad, so they got to see something. They got to see something in your boy. So I'm not really sure. Not really surprised. I mean, it's just a waiver claim, so I'm not saying this man's going to be a world beater, but it is good to add a little bit of depth to that cornerback room, because if there is one position that is still a little sketchy from the depth perspective, it's going to be cornerback. So we got to add some talent there. So I'm not mad at that pick at all. Any final thoughts on Devonshire?
Do you think are you locking Michael Jackson as CB2?
Yeah, I think so. For right now, I mean, until they
I mean, like everybody's trying to make it solidified, and I think whoever goes on the other side of JC Horn, that position's up for grabs. I don't care what you say. I think Michael Jackson's been very great. He's been off the wall. He's been a thriller for us so far. But the bottom line is this: he could lose that job, and he's not invincible. All right, so he could lose that position.
Why is that still funny? Like, why am I still laughing at that? Like, Michael Jackson has been on this squad for a whole year.
It doesn't matter. I will do this. I will do this as long as I can. I'm gonna put in some Jackson 5 underground bags when this is all said and done.
Yeah,
we need you guys. He's gonna be saying, "Come and get it," and there's gonna be other folks. You know. There will be other folks.
That. You need some B-side. We need them deep.
Yeah,
B-side.
Yeah. If you know, you know. So he's gonna say that, but in the grand scheme of things, he's got to step it up, man. He's got to keep his job. He's got to keep his gig. Like, I mean, I don't think it's a done deal. That spot is dangerous. He could lose it. I don't think the Panthers are going to say beat it by any stretch of the imagination, but CB2 is not a done deal yet. Yeah, I got to do some Bobby Brown Jones. I never was the biggest Bobby Brown fan, but I got a little Prince back.
We do got a Bobby on the team too.
Yeah, we got a Bobby and a Prince, a Princely. We covered.
Yeah, we got them all. We got them all on the squad. All right, so that's Dave. We got to talk about this one. This is a little bit of not a shocker, but kind of sort of a little bit.
They've been discussing it. They've been discussing it for a while about trying to bring him in.
Yeah, so. we brought him in. We brought him in, worked him out, and talked to him, and eventually, obviously after the draft, the deal got done. Hunter Renfrow is now a member of the Carolina Panthers, a guy that sat out all last year, 29 years old. We talked about him on the show prior when he was first brought in, and now he's officially signed. And we're going to talk about the wide receiver room. I don't know if we're going to get. I don't want to rush this. We got an entire offseason, so I don't want to talk about the wide receiver room in depth today. But we can once we get through the end of this, we can talk about it and see where it's going to go, because obviously we have to talk about the draft picks. We picked up 2 wide receivers. There's a lot of competition. I went out and said yesterday that Dave, you went up here and you talked defense. All you wanted was defense.
It was an even slate. No, I didn't say all I wanted was defense. I wanted to be aggressive early.
All you wanted to draft a whole defense,
No, I did not want to Matt rule it. I did not want to Matt rule it, but I wanted us to be very, very aggressive there. But they ended up going half and half. They went 4 and 4. They ended up taking 4 offensive guys and 4 defensive guys.
2 of those being wide receivers, like I said. They
2
were
of those being wide receivers
and needed to do, because this wide receiver room was a little bit lackluster last year, given all the drops. Even though we drafted XL, I don't want to get too far into it. I don't want to get ahead of myself, because there's a whole offseason for us to.
We can have the discussion. We'll have the discussion once we get through the draft picks, because we need to talk about what we got.
Oh yeah,
now.
we can talk about it.
Yeah, we got to have that discussion point. Yeah, we got to have a discussion point. We'll get back to it. We got, like you said, we got plenty of time. Well, we can rehash. I have no problem with that. And we got a super chat. Hey, you damn right, A-Cash. And I can do that.
Super chat, bro. Just read the super chat, man.
A-Cash, appreciate the super chat, sir. Dave switched up on that T-Mac pick real quick on day 2 of the draft. You damn right I did, because I saw what I needed to see on day 2. I saw what I needed to see. We'll get into that. What do you see my grades? Y'all gonna really think I'm crazy. All right, keep moving.
Yeah, so shout out to the Clemson fans in the building, because we finally got one, a Clemson great. Again, former 5th round pick from Clemson. He's a native of Myrtle Beach, so he's from the Carolinas. Now he's playing for his home team. Obviously, we all remember the game-winning touchdown pass in 2017 he had against Alabama. Also had a couple game-winning a touchdown passes in 2016 title game. So he's nice. He's nice and had a couple of solid seasons with the Raiders. And then obviously sat out last year. Somebody in chat said he was super sick. Not sure what was going on with him. Again, I haven't heard all the details of what was going on with him. But he sat out last season, and now he's back with the Carolina Panthers, and then he could inject a little bit of juice in that room during training camp. I'm not locking him in for a roster spot, but I'm sure saying it's going to be up for debate, especially if he can add something to that return game, because that's something we ain't got. Well, we got it now. We'll talk about it later. We got it, but this is a little bit of a challenge to what we picked up in the draft. So I think I like it. I like it, bro. I like this pickup a lot. I think that it's definitely going to add some competition to that room. And like I said on X, and that nobody's safe in that wide receiver room, bro. It's the competition is locked and loaded. So it's gonna be a tough battle in training camp. And unfortunately, we won't be able to see it. So
get me started, please.
Yeah.
At least I'll save a flight. At least I'll save a flight in the hotel.
My bad.
I do save that.
That sting. It still stings.
Oh, it's gonna sting.
But all right, let's keep it moving. That's enough for Hunter Renfrow. Unless you got anything else you want to add.
Oh no, I'm good. Shout out to Hunter, man. I'm glad he's back in the league. We're gonna see what we're gonna do.
Shout out to his health, man.
Yeah, this ain't autoimmune disease, but
he had ulcerative colitis. I heard that on a.
Oh, my cousin had that, bro. That ain't fun. My cousin has that. It ain't fun.
Carlo. Shout out to Carlo. I've heard it on like an infomercial before. Ulcerative colitis.
Yeah,
but I don't know what it is.
My cousin had it. It's serious. It's some serious business.
So what is
for him to try to play football is commendable.
Let me hit a quick Google search real quick.
What
is ulcerative colitis? Oh, so it's a bowel disease.
It's a bowel disease, bro. It ain't for the weak.
That inflammation and ulcers in the lining of the colon. That's not cool. Yeah, that's cool. That sounds like a hurt stomach. I pass on that, bro. I pass on that. But anyway, shout out to Hunter Renfrow and shout out to his health too. I'm glad he's back on the mend.
Brock Lesnar did have that. He had that as well. That kind of retired him from UFC, truth be told, but that's what the discussion point.
Nah, it was more than that. Oh, well, never mind. I thought you meant WWE. My bad.
No.
My fault.
No.
Yeah, let's say a little bit more than that. My bad.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. Bad. That's what the discussion point.
My bad. They said my man got down to 150, bro. My fault. Got down to 150. That's crazy. I weigh more than 150. And I'm a little dude.
That's tough. Shout out to Tyler Sharp, one of the best route runners in the league. Yeah, we're gonna see. Yeah, he was when he was in the league, but there's been a lot of other folks that showed up.
All right, real quick, shout out to the Patreon members, patreon.com/PanthNationPC if you want to support the channel, man. We appreciate all the support. Shout out to the MVPs, shout out to the franchise, and shout out to the free agents. I have forgot about y'all, man. I still need to get this away real quick. Well, I'm not prepared to give it away right now, but I got to get this away. I don't have the stuff loaded up, but I got to give away this signed T-Mac little paper that I got from the Panthers, and T-Mac signed it. So I got to get this away. That's coming soon. I forgot to do it during draft night, or set day 2, and then I didn't load it up what I needed to load up for the giveaway today. So my apologies. It will get done as soon as possible. All right, Dave, Underdog. Shout out to the free agents too.
Yeah, man. When you get a chance, guys, now we got best. Now that the rookies have been drafted in the NFL, now they are doing the best ball leagues, and the best ball drafts are live. Best ball is ready to rock. A lot of money to be had, so go to underdogfantasy.com and use the promo code PNP when you do. They still do higher and lowers for the NBA. The NBA playoffs are in full swing. Shout out to the Celtics. Boy, did you see what happened to the Heat? Woo, it's bad.
Man,
so go to Underdog.
I ain't paying attention to the NBA, bro.
You should be. It's about to get gotten heavy. But if you're into the NBA, you could do that. You could do champions in Underdog Fantasy. So go to underdogfantasy.com and use the promo code PNP when you do.
How was the meet at T-Mac, man? T-Mac cool. He's a cool dude. He's like he like one of the homies for real. He real cool, real chill, real laid back. He catch a vibe. You know what I mean? He's a real good dude. I could hang out with T-Mac. Real cool dude. Real cool dude. He one of the homies. All right, so let's move on, Dave. Let's go ahead and get into this draft. We're gonna break these things down. And obviously, in the 6th round, we picked up Jimmy Horn Jr. And Dave, I gotta be honest with you. I think I watched the stream back when you because I wasn't there on day 3 of the draft. Shout out to Dave for holding it down. I wasn't there, but I didn't see or hear enough excitement about this Jimmy Horn pick, Dave. So I'm gonna provide it for you. I think this was a great pick. This is a great pick. I think that we needed some return help, and I think that's what this young man brings. I think he's, and I'll get into what else he does, but I have it bolded here: kick and punt return value. That's huge. We don't, and again, we got it, but we don't got it. When is the last time? Every time we talk about special teams, I get up here and ask, when was the last time we had seen a kick or a punt return go back to the house? Right? We haven't seen it in a long time, bro. We don't have effective special teams returners. And so I'm hopeful that Jimmy Horn will do just that, bro. I hope that this man can bring, and again, he's got the speed. He's got the explosiveness. He's after the catch. He's nice. I'm sure we're going to manufacture some touches for this man, get him in space, jet sweeps, all that good stuff. And I think he's going to be a very good addition to this roster. And I think, and I see it all on X. Oh, is he going to make the roster? Is he going to, bro, if you can return, you making the roster, bro. And if he's better at returning than Blackshear and all them other cats,
I'm
assuming the bar is pretty low. All due respect to Blackshear and them. I ain't really seeing what I need to see from the return game, bro. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. You know what I mean? This kid is nice. He's nice. So again, speed, explosiveness, quick out the breaks. He's got good separation. The kick and punt return value is awesome. As far as development areas, obviously play strength and get better there. Consistent hands. He has some focus drops, and I think he could expand his route tree. A lot of his stuff was caught short, and that may be due to the offense, right? Colorado offense. That may just be what they did to get him to get the ball in his hands, let him work after the catch. That could be. I don't know. I'm not going to sit up here and say I know what Colorado wanted to do with the football.
Well, nah, Shador, like Sanders tended to have short passes, a lot of short to intermediate passes, mostly short passes. A lot of
that's what I'm saying. That just could be their offense. I mean,
that's their offense.
That doesn't mean, and again, I always go back, that does not mean he's not capable of being a good wide receiver. That does not mean his route tree isn't better than what it is. It just means that they have not asked him to do certain things. And so hopefully when he gets to camp, he's going to get with the wide receiver gurus that we have on our roster, and he'll get better. So, I mean, for me, these are things that I'm looking for in regards to Jimmy Horn, especially when it comes to training camp. When I want to see, obviously, return reps. I need to see the kickoff and the punt sessions. I want to see where he lines up. Is he first to do it? Is he second to do it? Is he good? Like how fast can he get off? Like his burst. I want to see all that during training camp. I want to see him in the slot. How is he going to work with it? We have a lot of guys that can play slot. So where can he fit? Does he fit as a slot? Is he going to line up against Shaw Smith-Wade, Demani Richardson? I want to see how he works against those guys. I want to see, is he getting the football, jet sweeps? I want to see, are they putting the ball in his hands like they did in Colorado? Let him get the ball and go to work. And so that's what I want to see from Jimmy Horn. I think if he does that, especially if he is active and really solid in the return game, this is exactly what the Carolina Panthers needed. Dave, what you got?
So here's the thing. I think I agree with you, but the main reason he would get on the roster is kick and punt return. That's it. Like, I think Blackshear should be concerned. Renfro is probably going to be competing against this position as well. I would probably put Jimmy as the heavy favorite here. I like the pick. I mean, it was pretty good value considering it was a top 15 wide receiver on Steve Smith's list. So I think that when you take that into account, I think it's going to be fascinating to see how his development goes. But I think he's going to make this roster off his kick and punt returns, point blank period. I think that's where that's how he gets his jersey every week. Also, that competition is going to be fascinating. It hasn't really been that fascinating in a very long time. I got a couple of super chats I got to hit.
Yes, please do.
Oh, don't worry. Knucklehead K, appreciate the super chat, my man. Hit the like button one time for our guys. 660 in here. We're at over 900 now. That's a free move that only takes a second. Appreciate the draft day coverage shot of Dave. Still ain't caught up, but good so far. Appreciate it, my man. And shout out to Drew Mix Relaxing Sounds. Dan definitely understood the mission, and it's clear you did too. We really appreciate the super chat, my man.
Shout out to Drew Mix. I'm about to go, and he got some relaxing sessions. I'm about to go to let me give him some streams real quick.
Yeah, you gotta get him some streams for that.
Let me go sub up. Let me Drew. What was it?
Drew Mix Relaxing Sounds.
Relaxing.
All right. Shout out to AJ Haynes. Carolina always bring in aging, exciting whites. Allen, Thielen, DeLone, Casey.
Man, why we got
to do that, man? AJ could say that. I'm just quoting AJ. Hopefully it pans out. Also, should have taken Isaiah Bond over Horn.
Isaiah Bond got some issues he got to deal with, brother.
Yeah, he got some issues. He ain't got issues. He got issues.
He got something he got to deal with. That's the reason why he went undrafted. So I like Isaiah Bond, but that's just coming with
there's a reason why. There's a reason why he's. I don't know if he got picked up yet, but there's a reason why he didn't get drafted.
Yeah, let me check.
Shout out to H-Town Kings. Not since Ted Jr. for return, I believe. Well, I think the last one. I think ISM ran one in. ISM did one.
Yeah, I think ISM got one, and I think before that was Demir Bird. I think Demir Bird got one. Shout out to Demir Bird, bro. Yeah, I don't even think Isaiah Bond got picked up yet, bro. That's crazy.
We got 2 more super chats. Shout out to B Boats Will 919. I don't know if it was brought up already, and I'm late, but love seeing you shot in the Panthers T-Mac video. Yeah, man, you a celebrity, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm not, man. Stop it. Shout out to T-Mac though, man.
Yeah, Deontay. Guess I'll help contribute to Dave's 3. I'm not buying no more PS5s. I already got 2 Switches. I don't need to buy 3 PS5s. I ain't getting the 3rd PS5. I barely played the one I got. Appreciate the super chat, Deontay.
Yeah, so shout out to Jimmy Horn. Again, this is a great pickup. I like it, especially where you got him. I think it was a valuable pick. You got good value there. So Dave, this is his scores. Just a couple things to look at. He's 5'8", 174 pounds. These are his measurables. Again, these are all pulled from NFL.com. Shout out to NFL.com for that information. 30-inch arms, 8-inch hands. So, he's a smaller guy, but I think the thing that you can't measure with this kid is his heart. He's one of them dogs. He's going to bring it every play. Again, we always can go back to that one dog, the elite dog, the top dog, no top dog law. Shout out to side note, I cannot stand those commercials, bro. I don't know if you probably don't get them up there.
I don't know what the hell you talking about.
The chat know what I'm talking about. If you in Charlotte, or Greensboro or anywhere in North Carolina, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and I can't stand it. But going back to the top dog, we know who the top dog is, Steve Smith Sr. You know what I mean? So shout out, he's got a little bit of that in him, a little bit of dog. So shout out to see, Carlo know what I'm talking about. But shout out to Jimmy Horn. I think it's a good pickup, and I like it. I like it a lot. This is a good pick, Dave. So how do we grade it? Here we go. Here's how we graded it. Dave gave it a B+. I gave it an A+ pick. Again, I like this pickup. And again, I largely like it due to the special teams ability, right? When you have special teams capabilities and you do it well, you get me excited. So shout out to Jimmy Horn, man. I like this. Good pickup. See, they know what I'm talking about.
I was thin at some time, man. I know I started the show fat, but then I was thin, and now I'm like in between now.
This is thin, Dave.
Now somebody's trying to say I'm a little thin, man. Grandazza, man, don't be out here slandering.
Nah, that's thin, Dave, bro. That's thin, Dave. All right, so let's keep it going. Let's keep it moving. Mitchell Evans. Ooh, this is another pick I like a lot. Not enough excitement about this pick. Round 5, pick 163, tight end from Notre Dame. Notre Dame. Is it Notre Dame? Notre Dame? Alex, how I say it? I know you're the biggest Notre Dame fan I've seen in my life. How do I say it, Alex? You probably the only Notre Dame fan I know. But the biggest. Shout out to Alex. I knew he was gonna jump in there. Shout out to Alex. This is a good pickup. Not enough excitement. Not enough excitement about this pick on the stream when I went back and watched it. So Dave, again, I know he dealt with some injuries. He has some major injuries too. But this kid is a baller. When he's healthy and he's available, it's going to be a little bit of a problem. And the dope thing about this pickup is that we don't need him right now. Like, he could really develop. Take your time, Mitch. Take your time, bro. Get right, get healthy. But when he's available, bro, it's gonna be a problem. Very good blocker, almost like this says, almost like a sixth offensive lineman. Very good in short yards, between 8 to 10 yards. That's where he's gonna live, bro. He's not gonna beat nobody deep. He don't have that kind of athleticism. But bro, 8 to 10 yards, he's going to be a super problem. A super problem. Good football IQ, knows how to find those soft spots in the zone. Some things he got to work on. Some sharpness in the routes. Again, not a dynamic mover. He's not shifty. He ain't the smoothest guy in the world. Yak, you're not gonna give you that much yak. And again, the catch. You want to get away from those body catches. You know what I mean? So those are some of the things I saw when I watched a little bit of the film. Again, I didn't have time to dive too much into these guys, but those are some of the things that I noticed when I was watching. But I think some of the things I want to see or hear during training camp. Y'all got on me because y'all said I'm not going to be able to see during training camp. Y'all are right. I keep forgetting like I'm going to be there. But I will say I'm pretty sure PSL owners will get some private practices or two. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen since they took it away. I'm quite sure that's going to happen. And when it does happen, this is what I want to see from Mitchell Evans. I want to see that inline blocking. I just called him a sixth offensive lineman. Okay, let's see how you fare against a guy like Clowney. Let's see how you fare against some of those guys that we got on, some of them dogs that we got on our team, Derek Brown. So I want to see how he lines up against those guys. You know what I mean? And his health. How healthy is he? Is he going to start on the pup? Can he contribute now? I don't know exactly where he stands from a health standpoint right at this moment. But getting this man in the 5th round is an extreme value pick, bro. Extreme value pick. I like this pick a lot. I see him as a slotted in right now as tight end number 3. And I'm telling you, he's got a couple years. Again, you got Tommy Tremble, another Notre Dame tight end. We got his partner. So we got another Notre Dame tight end. Again, they breed. They're really good. Notre Dame is a really good tight end school. You know what I mean? So I think this is a really, 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 really good pickup. Dave, what's your thoughts?
I'm going to do the super chats and then I'll give you my thoughts. Shout out to Deontay White for the super chat. Mitchell Evans, the best pick in the draft. I'm not there, but I understand why, and you'll see my grade, and I'll give you my thoughts of why I said the grade I said. A-Cash, any chance we get a poll for each pick in the draft so we can get the chat's opinion?
I got you. Yeah, I got you. I'm going to do that right now. Matter of fact, I meant to do it, but I didn't do it, and so I got you. Give me about, Dave, you're going to have to take it for a little bit.
All right, so now you got it while you do that. So here's my thing about this one, and we ain't going to get into the grade quite yet. I understand the pick. I know he's like another offensive lineman. I wonder why we didn't try to get our offensive lineman here. And I'm not doubting that this kid's going to be good. I think he's going to be good, but I think he's still got to develop. Right now, he's just a blocker, right? And I know that
he's better. He's a little bit more than a blocker, bro. He's nice. He's nice. No, we're giving him credit for his. I can't let you do that. I can't let you diminish him to say he's just a blocker. He's better than that. He's a very good, reliable 8 to 10 yards. Super chain mover is what I'm gonna call him, bro. I can't let you diminish him to just a blocker. And he can get better as a receiver, sure.
The health is concerning too. The health is concerning too. Considering that we already had one tight end that got hurt this year. But I understand the pick. I'm not mad at the pick. I just feel like there were other positions. And I haven't seen Canales, and it's not on him, let me be clear. And I haven't seen Canales utilize his position enough. And if you're telling me he's a tight end 3, that tells me that he's probably not going to still utilize his position enough because he's not going to be the field enough. He's going to be a TE3. He needs to be 2 or TE2. He needs to beat out Trimble. And then we can have a discussion about this. But that's just my opinion on it, right? Like I'm cool with the pick. I just felt like there were other positions of need that we probably should have gone after. That's just my thought. But I do agree about the value of it all.
Yeah, it's value, bro. You have to get it before his injuries, bro. Like this is one of those guys that you could look back and be like, yo, how the hell did this dude fall to number 5 and the Panthers got him? Like, I think, bro, he's like that, bro. He's really good. And for us to get him in the 5th is very good value. And I absolutely love this pick. This is one of my favorite picks in the draft for sure. I'm excited about it. As far as I don't think I had additional slides for him, but these are his measurables: 6'5", 258 pounds. So again, he's thick. He's thick. He's a good blocker. 31-inch arms, not the longest arms in the world. That's okay. I think he has shorter arms, just like Warren, which is probably why Warren fell a little bit too. But again, solid enough athleticism score. Again, solid, bro. This is a really good, really good pickup. I like it a lot. I'm happy with it. And I know you can tell by my excitement. I'm giving this daggone pick an A.
And I gave it a B for the reasons I mentioned earlier. I think he's gonna pan out pretty well though. But I want hopefully he gets healthy and he's great for us. I mean, a lot of comparisons during the stream was they compared him to Greg, and I don't think that's fair. Like I'm not ready to go that far. But
a lot of people had what?
Compared to Greg, and I was like, I'm not going that far.
I mean, he got 88. Man,
I get all that. He's got 88. He looks like him. I get all that. I'm not there yet though. It's too soon for that. Like we're asking too much for this guy too soon.
Yeah. About that, I think that is a nice little story. I think if he turns out to surprise folks in camp, I think he could. I think he could make the roster. But I see 3 guys ahead of him right now. You got Jatavion. He's not going anywhere. Trimble just got re-signed for 2 years. You got Mitchell Evans now, and I think Granger, he got a little ways to go. But I do think he could. I think he could end up on that practice squad for a year, and maybe next year we're talking about something different. But I don't know. But I would agree with this.
He's closer to Wesley Walls and Greg Olsen. Yeah, I will give you that.
I would agree. I would agree with that. I would agree with that. But yeah, I like this pickup. This is a very good draft pick for the Carolina Panthers, and I like it. Very good pickup. I was excited. Again, when I watched the stream back, not enough excitement around Mitchell Evans and us being able to get him in the 5th round. It's incredible value. All right, Jason Witten. Yeah, Jason Witten too. He's more like that than he is one of those athletic elite tight ends. A Kelsey. He's not that. He's not that at all. He's a very good blocker, and he's a very good reliable hands. So this is actually a very good higher end comparison if you want to go that high. I heard somebody compare him to what's my man Disley? I think
Disley from Seattle.
I think somebody I've heard comparisons to him on a little bit more realistic comparison. So I like it. And Disley has had some good. I know he's kind of bounced around the league a little bit, but he has some good games. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, very good pickup. I like it a lot. All right, let me see what the chat gave this pick. The chat gave this pick a B. So that what you, Dave? A B. Yeah, 38%, 38% A, 54% B, 7% C, and 1% D. So I'm gonna end the poll for that. We'll go back and get Jimmy Horn. Let's go back and get Jimmy Horn's grades before we move on to the next person.
Yeah, I anticipate they'll be close. Like I gave it a B+, so I anticipate they'll be closer to y'all, closer to you, Shot, with Jimmy Horn. We'll talk my takes based on what I've been seeing on Twitter once we get through all the draft picks. But there was a lot of excitement for Jimmy Horn. I will say that. I think it was probably more.
It's a good pick, man. Jimmy Horn is a good pickup, bro, and I think he's got to bring that excitement in the return game. Now, if he can't return, he's got an uphill battle. And it's a 6th round pick, so he's no lock per se, because I think we got some guys on that roster that could push him off. I think they want to keep him and they want to see him in that return game. But if you just come in and be a slot guy, you got to worry about David Moore ahead of you, who has that connection with Canales. You got to worry about Hunter Renfrow, who can knock you off because he can do both. He can really good route runner and he can return. So you gotta be careful with that. But again, I like Horn, and I think he's gonna be a valuable asset in the return game for sure. All right, let's see, man. So yeah, everybody's giving it. They must be listening to me. Yeah, A for Jimmy Horn pick right now. So 69% A, 28% B, 3% C, and 1% D. So I'm gonna give. I'm gonna
slander. Go ahead. That D's unsat.
Yeah, somebody's trolling probably. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. 164 votes. We'll go ahead and end it. But yeah, I'd like to see closer to like 300 votes. So please participate. Hit that chat.
We'll give y'all more time for the next one.
Yeah, next one I'm gonna go ahead and put it up early. Dave, I want you to announce it so I can put it up. All right.
So the next pick is Cam Jackson, round 5, pick 140, defensive tackle from Florida. Love this pick. I love this pick. You know why I love this pick?
Why do you love the pick, Dave?
This is the pure nose tackle, and we need one. We needed one. Bad. Do you hear me? No more Shy Tuttle. Sorry.
Yeah.
No more Shy Tuttle.
Well, Shy is still on the roster. Let's put some respect on his name.
For now.
He's still on the roster. So just here's some notes that I have for Cam Jackson. I again, 6'5", 6'6", depending where you look, 330. I think he's officially 328 on the next slide. But again, you're not going to move him. You're not going to move him off his spot. Very, very good. He's a natural anchor versus double team. So that's what we need. Free up some spots for Derrick Brown to get loose. Him, Derrick Brown, Warden, all these guys that you're going to have on that line can get after it. Good short area strength. So he's a strong cat. As far as developmental areas, again, you got to get conditioning. You're a big guy. You know what I mean? 6'6", you're carrying a lot of weight. He's got to be able to survive the long drives in the NFL because people are going to try to wear you down and keep you on the field and not let you get off the field so we can rotate players out. They're going to want to keep you on that field, especially when you start to wear down. It's pad level. Again, 6'6", low man wins. It's hard to get low when you're 6'6". So those smaller offensive linemen can get up under him and move him out the way. So he's got to watch his pad level and penetration. Again, as of right now, he's not going to be the most elite pass rush. He does not provide much in the pass rush realm. So he'll tell you himself that he probably needs to improve in the pass rush area. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, but if you can go in there and be a elite run stuffer, because that's what he is. He's a good run stuffer. And that's obviously we know our struggles last year was stopping the run. That's where this man wins. That's where he wins. Okay. So, and we needed it. We needed a real nose tackle, and we finally got one. I know we got Bobby Brown signed him too, but this is a real nose tackle. And again, he's not gonna have to go out there early. He can go out there, take his time, develop, go out there in some certain packages, and I think it's a good pick. I like this pickup. Now, as far as what I want to see during training camp, if I ever get my eyes on at least one practice, again, like I said, the conditioning, got to get him going so he can sustain those long drives. Leverage, the pad level, which I talked about. Reaction time at the snap point. So again, a little bit of delays when he was snapping, or excuse me, getting off the ball. Are you getting low? Are you firing off the ball? Are you playing high? Look, so I need to watch how he plays because he is a bigger guy. You know what I mean? So I need to see how he's going to play in the trenches. And goal line. Again, when he was at Florida, some of that Florida film, very, very, very good in the goal line. That's what we need him to be super effective at the goal line, short yardage. I want to see him out there. I want to see him out there dominating. And potentially, let's see if he can get on some offensive snaps. You know what I mean? Got to see if he can get on some offensive snaps. So, solid. So I like this is a very, very good pickup. Very, very good pick. I like this pick a lot too. And again, I think as far as fit, I definitely see him potentially taking Shy Tuttle's spot. We obviously know Shy Tuttle was, and again, he's playing out of position, so it's not entirely his fault. But you know, we got us a real one now. We got us a real one. As far as measurables, 6'6", like I said, 6'5", 6'6", depending on what you're looking at. 328 pounds, long arms, 34-inch arms, big hands. And again, you don't need to be a super athlete being 328 pounds, but I like him. I like very, very good pickup. Very, very good pickup, especially in the 5th round. And he's a little bit older too. That's what I like too. He's kind of mature. And he's not going to take that much time having to develop his body to get in the trenches. Because we know we've chronicled the Derrick Brown story about how Derrick Brown had to get his body adjusted to the NFL and how physical it is in the trenches. This guy's a little bit older. I think he's like 22, 23. So he'll be able to jump in and kind of, he'll be ready to go. He'll be ready to go. So I like this pickup.
Consider this, guys. I just want to, you mentioned Derrick Brown. I just want to remind you guys, 3 years. DTs take time to develop. 3 years. But I think he's going to help us right away. I think he's going to get part of the rotation early. Because if he's a run stuffer, as bad as our run defense has been, I think he can come in and help with that immediately. And you just got to get him out. You got to get him out when it's passing downs. Like you probably could get him in there for first downs, second downs. You got to get him out of there for third and longs. Like you don't want him in there for third and longs. But until he develops his pass rush. But as a run stuffer, there was some level of intentionalness about this pick, and that's why I love this pick.
Yeah, good pick. I like it a lot too. Very, very good pick. And with that, I gave this pick an A. Yeah, I think this is a debatable at all. And I think the chat gave it an A. 52%, 41% gave it a B, 7% gave it a D. A C, and 0% gave it a D. So 240 some votes. Solid sample size there. So I like it. I'm gonna end that poll. Dave, let's rock with the next guy.
All right, next guy we got Lathan Ransom, safety from Ohio State, the safety that everybody was begging for throughout the draft night. I love this pickup as well. I think this guy, he got a chance to win the starting job, bruh. He got a shot. Man. I know typically 4th-round picks don't win starting jobs, but that's how atrocious our position has been. He could potentially come in here and potentially win this job. So we shall see how it goes by this man from Ohio State. Got him in the 4th round. Thought it was pretty good value. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right. So with Lathan, again, I obviously you all know how I feel about the safety position. I wanted a safety pretty badly. Okay. There's no doubt about that. I wanted a safety. Ransom is not necessarily the guy I want. I'm going to be completely honest. And I question. Here's the thing. I think that Ransom and Morig are basically the same guy, right? And so I question whether we have the correct safety type, because I think he's more of a line of scrimmage guy. If you watch the film and you watch or his quote unquote highlights, a lot of his plays are at the line of scrimmage, right? He's very, very good against the run. Again, when we go back and we talk about the weaknesses from last year.
Oh yeah, that's why I love the pick, though. That is why I love the pick.
But
because
that's why I necessarily don't like the pick, because it's the same guys. Ransom, right? To me, Ransom and Morig are the same. They're the same guy, and I don't know if they're going to take Morig from out of the box to start Ransom, and I don't know if Ransom is good enough. And again, you guys can tell me. You tell me if I'm completely wrong on this. I just don't know that he's a cover safety that we need, right? And again, Damani could be that dude. They might be cool with Damani because Damani was good. Damani is an undrafted free agent, was good last year. So Damani could be the starter, or we may not be done. We might be looking to sign somebody else. But I do not see him starting or touching the starting role. I think he's a depth, and again, you got to have depth, right? So I'm not saying this is a bad pick at all, but I think I view this pick more as a depth pick behind Morig than anything else.
I think that when you look at what the Panthers did in this draft, it's clear what they're trying to fix defensively. And we were having the back and forth during the stream. Shout out to the Patreon folks that got on. And we were having a back and forth in the stream. And one of the big things we were arguing about, because they were concerned about whether or not we're going to get a safety or get somebody in the secondary, and we ended up drafting Ransom. They were arguing about whether or not we really need good safeties to be Evero scheme. And my argument was, well, if you fix the pass rush, it helps a lot of other things. And I think that's what they were trying to do with the 2nd and 3rd round picks. So it's going to be like, I think having somebody like a Ransom who can tackle, he could do a box, and he could be a deep safety. So we'll see. I'm curious to see how this goes. I like the pick. I was cool with the pick. I know folks wanted a safety bad, but I think their primary goal here was to try to fix their pass rush. And they definitely need to do that, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good your secondary is if the pass rush isn't doing anything. Like the secondary can't cover forever. You got to be able to get to the quarterback. Got to be able to get to the quarterback. And it was clear that we were not good at getting to the quarterback last year. We couldn't stop the run. We couldn't get the quarterback. We couldn't do nothing right from a front standpoint. So the focal point was there. So it'd be curious to see it. And I think having a good front helps people like Ransom and Moray and JC and whoever wins CB2. Right now it's Mike Jack. So
yeah. And so again, I'm not saying he can or cannot do anything, right? I have not watched enough of Ransom to say what he can and cannot do. But I do, again, I like the fact that we have a safety and we drafted one. I need to see more, right? I need to see more. If I'm watching, I see a lot of plays being made at the line of scrimmage, and you want to put players where they're best at. Okay, so y'all tell me, for the folks that for y'all tell me, right? Where do you want this guy playing? Where is he better at? Right? Is he better in the box? Is he better at the line of scrimmage, or is he a better free, or is he good at both? You guys tell me. I'm deferring. I'm deferring. You know what I mean? So if it's a chin comp, then
we in trouble.
That's a box. You know what I mean? Like,
but we in trouble because Chin couldn't fit what Evero wanted to do.
So they're saying he could play both. So again, we'll see. We'll see. We will see if he can truly play both, like y'all saying he is, and he's not a strong safety like I think he is. Then he could certainly start. I don't see it, but if y'all see it, then hey, y'all could defer. I defer to y'all.
Yeah, he's better at strong safety. So
now it's people saying he can do both. It's a mixed crowd. It's a mixed crowd.
I mean, if he can do both, he's starting, bro.
God dang, Drew Mix
out here dropping bags, and we are thankful. Love Lathan, fellas. Maybe he isn't the best coverage guy, but I imagine a world where they play bend but don't break zone coverage. Let them boys catch the ball and deliver head cracker blows, man. That would be amazing. Appreciate the super chat, Drew Mix. Relaxing sounds.
Shout out to Drew Mix, man. God dog, man. Salute to you, bro.
Absolutely.
I said my man dropping bags. Yeah, man. Listen, I'm gonna defer, bro. I'm gonna be honest. They're saying, all right, so here we go. They're saying he's a really solid and he's really good pick. He'll be able to develop with the front seven is much better. When the front seven is much better. So we'll see. We'll see.
Goes back to what I said, man.
We'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see. We will see. We will see. If he can be free safety, we'll rock with it. If not, then it is what it is. You know what I mean? So again, 6 foot, 206 pounds, 30-inch arms, 8.5-inch hands, solid RAS score. Again, good pickup. Yeah, man. I think this is solid. I gave it a B. Dave gave it an A. Just because he wasn't the guy I wanted, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I wanted other guys, so I did drop the pick a little bit. So I'm gonna be honest.
Was your guy there? Was your guy there when we picked him?
My guy was not there. You guys know who I wanted, and I'm sorely disappointed. I'm extremely disappointed.
I'm gonna have another question for.
He's on the ops list. First of all, I didn't know why. I don't know why I even wanted him because he's mid anyway. I don't know why I wanted him because he's trash. I don't even know why.
Did he go before our other pick? Did he go before the previous pick?
I don't recall where exactly he went. I have to go back and look.
I'm gonna check because I'm gonna tell you what. If he did, I got questions. I'll leave it at that. I'm gonna check. You know what? I'm gonna check. Remind me who you wanted, because now I'm curious.
Nah, I don't speak of his name no more, bro. Because
at least tell me what team.
No, I'm not speaking to them either, because they're the even bigger op. You do some math and connect the dots, Dave.
Look, man, I hate them all.
You know who I'm talking about.
Oh, Jesus.
No,
Christ.
We hate them the most.
Oh, the Birds. They had the worst trade of the year. They had the worst trade. I ain't gonna hold you. They had the worst trade of the draft by far. They got ransacked by far.
All right, let's keep this thing moving. Shout out to Ransom though. I mean, a solid pickup. I'm not a hater. I don't want to be a hater. I want to like this pick, and I'm open to being wrong about this. Like I'm open to being, hey, maybe he is truly nice and he can cover. Maybe I'm open to being wrong. You know what I mean? So I want him to be great. It's just my initial thought is, he ain't the guy I wanted, bro.
It's okay.
I'm just gonna be honest. Real quick, I gotta pause real quick because we got over 1,000 people watching. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, get in the comments. Why hit the subscribe button? Because we are only 75 subscribers away from getting 24,000 subscribers, which is only 1,000 away from 25,000 subscribers. So if you're watching on X, I appreciate that. But come over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and then go back to X. I'm cool with that. I need those subs. Let's run it up. Let's get to 25,000, or excuse me, 24,000 by the end of the stream. I think we can do it. 75 people. I think it's possible. We have not had a milestone celebration in a long time. Let's make it happen.
You ain't kidding.
Let's make it happen, bro. Let's make it happen.
Shout out to Snowman for the super chat. RELAX, relax, do it for the rhythms. Hey, appreciate super chat, Austin. Now, here's the question I got for you. So, what did the chat say? How to grade look for the chat?
The chat said 51% A,
okay,
40% B. I'm with the 8%. No, I'm not. 8% gave it C. I'm with the B. And then 2% gave it a D.
I was like, you with the 8%?
I forgot where I was. For a second.
Right in front of you. You sure forgot what you was?
I went to 40%. Actually, it's not in front of me. It's on another screen. But yeah.
Oh, so, fair enough.
But yeah, it's 40%. I gave it a B as well. So I'm with the 40%. So salute.
Pretty close. But everybody wanted a safety, man. That was the conversation in the chat, yo. Everybody was like, we got to get a safety. We need a
safety. We got one. Not the one we wanted. Not the one I wanted per se. But again, hey, Lathan, if you happen to catch one of this, my bad. You know what I mean? Just wasn't the guy I necessarily wanted, but I'm open to being proved wrong. If you prove me wrong, listen, I'll shake your hand and say, hey, I was wrong, bro. You got it. You nice. You know what I mean? So shout out to Lathan. All right, let's keep it moving, Dave. Next pick.
Oh, he was gone then. Yeah, he was gone before we took Trevor. Trevor Etienne, running back from Georgia. Travis Etienne's younger brother, who also so happens to play running back, and he could return as well. So, like, when this pick first happened, I pretty much packed Blackshear up. And then the Jimmy Horn pick happened. I was like, oh, yeah, he really packed up now. So there's going to be some legitimate competition in that room. But also, because of the Jonathan Brooks injury, it creates an opportunity for him as well. But now he's going to be in there with Rico. So we're not short of running backs. I will say this. I knew that it was possible that we would take a running back in this draft. And I like Etienne, but I question the needs.
Yeah. Dave. Hey, listen, I'm with you.
Hey, listen,
you text me about this pick, and I'm not gonna lie, I almost threw up in my mouth. Like I did. Listen, Trevor, nice pickup. He's a nice player. There's low tread on the tire. He was a rotational guy, so he again, that's all positive things. He again, good burst. Quick acceleration, natural hands, all that good stuff, good contact balance. But I'm not happy, and the reason why I'm not happy with this pick is that the only reason we made this pick is because Jonathan Brooks is hurt. If Jonathan Brooks was not hurt, then it changes the conversation and the need for this pick, because he does a lot of what Jonathan Brooks can do.
I would argue that you still didn't have to make this pick even with Jonathan Brooks being hurt. Like, that's my point.
It's true. I'm with you. Yeah, I agree.
I agree. I don't think he was hurt to the point where you could have drafted a Clemson player finally. Like, you could have drafted your linebacker here. Like, that's what I'm talking about, right? Like, you could have drafted Barrett Carter. And you would have gotten the fan base off your back about the fact that we've never drafted a Clemson player. You could have finally did it. You could have made the executive decision and draft a Clemson player in a need position. You could have even though I don't think they would have tripled up on edge, but boy, you could have done that too. There was some pretty good edge rushers still out there. When they took this running back, bro, I was like, yo, I was like, the talent's there. Maybe you're trying to get Blackshear out the paint, but then that kind of guy, and I didn't beat the grade up nearly as bad as I could have for this pick. But then you go back and then you draft Jimmy Horn, who also could do it. And then the dude had fumbling problems too. Like, I'm like, why? Like, you had other positions of. I understand. I hate when I say this during the draft because it's always supposed to be BPA. But bro, you have some needs that you could have addressed. Running back wasn't that high on the list. It just wasn't.
In the fourth, I'm not even mad at the player. I'm not mad at us picking Etienne up. I'm mad at where we got him in the fourth round.
Yes.
And I'm mad that we actually, I'm not even mad that, because even throughout the draft process, I said we're probably going to end up drafting running back. I guess not that when it actually happened, it's a different kind of thing because it's actually in front of you and it actually occurred. But I just don't know that I would have done that. Especially you picked up Rico. You were good. You were good. You filled all the needs for the year. And now you have another guy on the roster for the next 4 years. That he has some. He can catch the football out the backfield. Yeah, that's great. But I don't know, man. Pass protection isn't that great. He just doesn't have a whole ton of production because he had the committee he was running with. He had some fumbles, so I don't know, man. I don't know. Not happy with this pick. But I think again he slotted in at RB3 for sure because of where he was picked. It's a 4th round pick. I don't see him getting cut, and obviously, like Dave said, he has some returnability too. So I don't know. I don't know, Dave. Go ahead.
So I'm looking. I pulled up the 4th round because I was trying to remind myself what the hell happened. So one thing is that C.J. West, the big defensive tackle out of Indiana, went 1 pick before us, and 2 picks before that, those freaking ain'ts took Danny Stutzman, who's a linebacker. So, okay, but you could have probably took Cody Simon. You could have got another different safety. You could have got Billy Bowman. You took Billy Bowman here. Since you end up taking Ransom at 122, you could have got your safety before. I question whether or not, even if you want an NTN, I question he could have slid. Is my point.
Yeah, I think that's what I agree with you, Dave. I think we could have got ETN a little bit later. I think this is the only pick where I question a little bit. It's a little bit of a reach, and I just don't know that I would have done that. I don't. Spoiler alert: I don't have any problems with any other pick in this draft. I think everything else was damn near perfect. This is the only pick where I'm looking a little sideways, like, I would have zigged right here instead of zag, but it's all good, man. But against 5'9", 198, solid, not the greatest athlete, but don't necessarily have to be as a running back. Not expecting this man to be Christian.
I'm checking to see. I was looking to see about offensive linemen, but I don't think there was anybody worth taking here. I gave it a B+. I was nicer than Rashad.
No, I gave it a C. I was gonna give it a B-, and then I changed my mind quick.
And you know what my theory is. I don't know if you know my theory about this situation. My theory is that Tootin was probably higher on their boards, but Tootin went the 2nd pick of that round.
Yeah, Tootin was gone, bro. He was out of here.
Yeah, he was gone.
I did see when he got picked up. Where'd he go? Where did Tootin go?
He went to Jacksonville.
Shout out to Jacksonville, man. Aggie pride, man. Yeah. Salute to Tootin. But anyway,
got two former HBCU players in them and Travis Hunter.
But yeah, man, ETN is a Panther, and I'm gonna rock with him now. But just here's a couple of charts that I was witnessing when I was doing some research on ETN, and it further cemented my C pick. But anyway, his EPA is solid. But when he touches the ball, it does result in the expected points. That's kind of what this is showing. And he can be trusted in a split backfield, which is kind of what we expect. He's going to be RB3 in our backfield. So he's going to probably be efficient with the touches. He's not a bell cow back by any means. But I think he does and will do well in a committee approach. Another thing is that he has a lower share of the team yardage. His team yardage per play is on the lower end, which means he doesn't dominate the offensive production, right? So Georgia, loaded offense, multiple backs, lack of workhorse volume for him, and situational usage. That's what he's going to be. And that kind of attributes to why he's on this side of this bar, this little graph here. You want to always be, when you see these graphs, you always want to be up here. You never want to be below this line, and you never want to be down here. This is the worst you can be. Over here is cool. Over here is okay, but you never want to be over here. So he's teetering.
He's teetering over there. He's close.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay, but I don't know, man. I don't know. But I just
look at Scatterbo, man. Scatterbo's way over there, bro.
Yeah, you want to be over here. Genty's really where you want to be up and over. This is the best place you can be, is right here in the corner. So you want to be up high and over here. But anyway, we'll see. Again, I'm open to being wrong as well. Again, Trevor, if you or your family or want any of the ETN see this, I'm open to being wrong, and I'm open to change my mind. But I just got to be honest with my pick, with my initial thought.
Between him and Horn, Blackshear's in trouble.
Yeah, Blackshear's up out of here, bro. Like,
yeah, Blackshear's
hell,
in
you
trouble.
see, you
like
see how
I thought
long
he
it
was in
took for us
trouble.
to
I thought he
re-sign
was in trouble. I thought he was in trouble with this pick. And then Horn got drafted. I was, oh yeah, you're done, buddy. It's I wonder if so. Then it goes back to my thoughts about like, all right, so you drafted, you picked it, you re-signed Blackshear, then you drafted 2 potential replacements in essence, right? You pretty much did that for that position. And it goes back to what I said earlier. What's the priority here? Like, I still think there's needs in other places they could have went. And there was needs they could have, they could have truly addressed. There's some pretty good edge rushers still left on the board. I understand we already took 2. So what? I mean, did you see that defense? Did you see that pass rush? So what? I think that would have been more valuable than grabbing an NTN unless you truly think that Jonathan Brooks is done, which I don't know if they're there yet, in my opinion. I don't think they're there yet. You normally keep 4 running backs, and one's going to be on IR. So, you normally keep 4.
Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Let's get to the next pick, Dave.
I likes edge rushers. Princely, I ain't gonna butcher his last name. He's an edge from Ole Miss. 3rd round, Uman Milan. Okay.
Malin,
right.
I think it's
Uman Malin. I'm gonna butcher this. But
you got it.
We got a Prince. All right, we got a Princely. We got a Prince. We got a Bobby Brown. We got a Prince. We got an MJ. He needs the Purple Rain. All these sacks, yo. He needs to get to the quarterback. And I love this pick. I really love this pick. So shout out to him. I mean, some people are saying it's the best pick of the draft. I wouldn't be mad if you say that. I love this pick. I think it was phenomenal value where we got him. Because he wasn't supposed to be this. He was not supposed to be in the 3rd round. He was just sitting there for us. And I cannot complain. All right, y'all got double different pronunciations. Shad is working a survey right now.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, he's working a survey right now. So I love this pick.
All right. Okay. All right. So here's what I got with Princely. I like this pick. I like the pick. I like where we got him to. I think that Princely, he's great, really, really, really good bend. I think that's what is great. And when you talk about Ben, it's only one guy you could think about who is now an op and playing with the Giants. I think that a lot of people are comparing him to Brian Burns, which is not a bad comparison because he's a very good pass rusher. Not so good against the run, but very good against the passer. Very good against the sorry, I just got a text. My bad, threw me off. Very good pass rusher. Again, quickness to beat offensive tackles around the arc, and then upside as a pure pass rusher. So you're going to see him a lot on 3rd down or passes, predictable passing situations. So I like this guy a lot, man. Again, as far as development areas, I got strengths at the point of attack. Can move him around a little bit, but I think that's something he said he wanted to improve upon or show off is that his strength at the line of scrimmage. Hand usage, again, can be a little bit more violent, disengaging blocks, and his play recognition. Sometimes he gets caught guessing, especially in RPOs. It's kind of what I saw in the limited film that I did watch. And again, very good bend. Very, very, very good bend and speed to get around the edge. And just basically, if he's lined up in that wide 9, he could just basically run around guys, use his athleticism, which can also be a little bit of a negative. Sometimes he tries to lean on athleticism a little bit. And so, but I like it. I think we need a legit pass rusher, and we got a legit pass rusher in Uman Malin. There we go.
Uman Malin.
We got it.
All right.
We got it. Whatever.
Yeah. No. All right. So I got some super chats I got to hit. Think we're still trying to bring in Blackman or Richardson going to be the free safety. I think we're not going to bring in Blackman, but I don't know what type of contract he wants. Appreciate the super chat, Joshua Irvin. Running back drafted too soon. Big D, no Kool-Aid sipping. Yeah, we had that discussion point. I think I leaned towards agreement. I didn't want to beat up the pick too much because I was thinking about replacements on the roster. The running back could have been UDFA. I absolutely agree. Appreciate the super chat. Big D, no Kool-Aid sipping. We should have double dipped that safety then. Yeah, I wouldn't have been mad at that if y'all wanted a safety that bad. Appreciate the super chat, Joshua Irvin. And are we going to discuss the UFDAs tonight? Love the show. Appreciate the super chat, Zach.
We're not getting the UDFAs tonight. It's too much, cramming too much into one show. And also, I'll say that the Panthers haven't officially announced them yet. So as soon as they get officially announced, which will probably be next week, we'll go over UDFAs. Guys, we got a long off season, so I'm not trying to cram everything into one show. So we'll get to it eventually. Probably next week.
We got plenty of time. It is April. This is the last show in April. And we're going to be doing this until August. We're not taking a break. There's no breaks. Where some shows take breaks, we do not. Shout out to Big D New Kool-Aid sipping. I like better than squirting. I mean, I like both of them. So I'm happy to have them both. Getting them both is why I was not mad at wide receiver at 8. Straight up. I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. I'll go ahead and say it now. Getting them both is why I wasn't mad at taking T-Mac at 8.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not wearing, and people saying he's good. Hopefully he doesn't wear number 1, bro. He's not gonna wear number 1. Nobody's worn number 1 since Cam. It's not happening. He's gonna have to pick another number, and those numbers should be getting released. I know T-Mac had picked 4. I know that for a fact. I don't know what everybody else is picking. So nobody's wearing number 1. Everybody chill out.
Oh, we got more,
but again,
plus 7.75 million will appear in the cat room by June 1st.
Hold that thought. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
But now I love this pick. Like Pat, look, I'm not gonna ever be mad at pass rusher. Considering what I had to watch last year. I'm never gonna be mad at pass rusher. So I love this pick. Love it. Really good value to where they got him. Because I don't think they expect him to be sitting there. And they talked about that during their post-draft pressure too. About they didn't think they would get T-Mac, Nick, and Princely. They ain't see that coming. But yeah.
All right. Again, I see him as a rotational outside linebacker, situational pass rusher. That's what he's going to be his first year. You're going to see him on clear passing downs and third downs where he can pin his ears back, use those spin moves, use his pass rush moves. I think again he's going to have a solid rookie season, bro. He's going to be good. But we'll keep it moving. Get to the rest of his measurables. 6'4", 244 pounds. Nice long arms, 9-inch hands. So solid athleticism scores here. Not mad at this at all. Very, very good. I gave it an A. Solid A from Princely. I like it. I like this pick. It's obviously a need, and I'm glad we addressed it where we addressed it second and third rounds, which we'll talk about next on the next slide. But this is a very good pick. Very good pick. Not mad at it at all. Dave, final thoughts on Princely?
We need more. I'm always going to ask for more, but I love this pick. Like you can't convince me otherwise. I think this kid's going to be really good.
Dave, 87% A on this pick. 87%. Y'all love that pick. That's dope. 11% B, 1% C. It's crazy. All right, Dave, let's keep it moving.
Next score and second round pick, 51. Another edge rusher from Texas A&M. I love this pick as well. And like I said during the show, I understood taking it at 8, and then after the news about Jalen Walker being injured, I felt better about taking T-Mac at 8. But then when they went and took Scorton and came back around and took Princely, I was thrilled. Phenomenal edge rusher. They're trying to fix the problem and make sure that Evero has no excuse. Because, when we made the decision to bring him back, that was a big thing. And he's a good run defender. Man, I love this, bro.
Yeah, very good run defender. Very good against the run. He's a power rusher. Knows how to convert speed to power. Strong run defender. Sets the edge very well. High motor. Big energy guy. Like this dude is a dog, bro. I like this pick very much. And Nick, again, people forget that this man was actually ranked higher than Shamar Stewart. Shamar kind of came out of nowhere after the Senior Bowl, but Nick was like a top 10 guy. Like people were talking about him as being like a top 10 pick. You know what I mean? And for some reason, his stock fell a little bit and ended up getting picked up in a second by the Carolina Panthers. But I think that this guy, it's going to be interesting to see where they ask him to play as far as play weight, because we know he gained a lot of weight to play at Texas A&M. But we know he can get down and be a true pass rusher because his Purdue tape is crazy. from a pass rusher perspective. So he's that combo guy. He's a very good stopping the run, very good pass rusher. He's that dude. He's that edge rusher that we need that can play both the run and the pass. You know what I mean? So it's very, very good. He's got a very good spin move. You know what I mean? So like very good, very, very, very good pick. Some things to watch, especially like during training camp, or if we ever get to watch or get to see anything, kind of watch that first step, his get off, right? I want to see him one-on-one drills, going up against Moten and going up against Icky. I want to see that. His hand uses and that secondary move. Is he going to just bull rush? Can he? We know he's got a nice spin move too. Is that arsenal still going to work? You know, he's got that Dwight Freeney in him. I think he talked about Dwight Freeney in his introductory press conference about that spin move. So I think this is a very, very, very good pick. And I ain't gonna lie, man. I kind of slept on Scourton throughout the draft process. But very good pickup.
Yeah, I love this. I love this pick. Quickly do a super chat. Shout out to Diego Ortiz. Giants fan, would love your thoughts on our draft. I thought y'all had a pretty good draft, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think getting Abdul Carter and still getting your quarterback is a beautiful thing. We can have the debate on who you should have taken, but I don't have a problem with you guys preferring Jackson Dart over Shador. Darius Alexander was a pretty good. Y'all needed a run stuffer. To get a running back, I mean, to try to make up what the heck happened with Saquon Barkley, I'm not mad at that one bit. Y'all will do that. I think I like Scatterbo a lot from that standpoint. So I like your draft. That being said, I don't think it's going to change your standings. I think you're still going to be last in the East. I don't think that's changing anything, in my opinion. But I think that's because of how good the East is. So it'll be fascinating to see. I don't think you guys are going to pass the other three, which is unfortunate, but I think that's the reality of it all. Appreciate the super chat, Diego.
Yeah. Shout out Diego. But Nick Scourton, again, I'm going to be excited to see where he plays, what his play weight is going to be. I hope we don't lose too much weight and lose some of that strength, but very good player. Very good player. And again, if you want to go back and see some of his pass rush dominance, go back and look at some of his Purdue film. He was asked to do different things at Texas A&M, so the production wasn't quite as what it was in Purdue, but still very, very good. Very good. And he's young. Yeah, he
shouldn't have fell that far, but I'm not mad at it one bit, bro. Like for him to fall, like they were saying late first round pick for him. And to get him in a second is beautiful.
No, he was a top 10 like guy before. He was the top pass rusher before the draft period started, while all the draft season started. He was the top edge guy in his class, and for some reason, I guess people fell in love with other things, the bright shiny objects. But again, Texas A&M didn't help him out too much, asked him to do different things that he did at Purdue. But yeah, very good pickup. I like it a lot. And again, Raz 6'3", 257. And again, going back to the Freeney comparison, undersized as well, but still very, very good. And I think Nick Scourton can be just that as well. So, Yep, Charles Johnson, very similar size to Charles Johnson in them.
Big money.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep it. Oh, let's see what this see what our grades is. Our grades in the poll. So 93% gave this an A, bro. Y'all love y'all edge rushers, bro.
Well, why wouldn't they? They saw what I saw.
Y'all love y'all edge rushers.
I have a hot take, but I don't want to say it yet. But I'll tell you the hot take after. Matter of fact, I'll text it to you. So that way you know. So then when you can co-sign the take. But anyway. But nah, I love this pick. Like the value that we got for him. He was supposed to be a first-round pick, and he fell all the way to us in the middle of the second. I ain't mad at this pick. I love this pick. Love it.
Yeah. Good pick. It's a really, really good pick, man. I want to see him develop, and hopefully with Princely and Nick Scourton, that tandem, man, we fixed our issues. Hopefully we can get us another tandem like we've had in the past. We've had our Mike Ruckers and our Peppers and our daggone Charles Johnson and the other guy that I can't name due to reasons. But yeah, I mean, hopefully we get that back. Go even as recently as Burns and Hassan Reddick. Like we need those pair of guys. Hopefully they can come back and be the future. You know what I mean? This is really what we need. This is really, really what we needed. But yeah, I like it. Very good pickup for Nick Scourton. All right, and next.
T-Mac McMillan, because I am not going to butcher that man's first name, and they said either T-Mac
or I can say that.
Go for it. Or Nalo. All right.
Titaroa McMillan.
Wide receiver Arizona with the 8th pick of the draft. I will say this, and I'll be honest, and I'll be transparent. I was cool with it, but I wanted somebody defensively. Then I slept. I felt better about it the following day. And my grade shows that I felt better about it the following day. So I'm very fascinated to see how the poll goes today. But
so the chat, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. The chat is gonna accuse you of flip-flopping, and
I don't care.
You're not gonna skate those allegations,
man, bro.
You're not gonna
listen, bro. Listen, man. Look, as soon as I heard that Jalen was hurt, I said, all right. So basically, in my eyes, I felt it was going to be Mason if he was there, and if Mason wasn't there, it was going to be T-Mac. And I'm cool with that. Especially since that other one went to them birds. I don't like, he might not even pan out, man. They out here trading first round picks over there.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Oh, I know what you're talking. You know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea.
You got to clip their wing. You got to clip their wings twice a season.
Well, I know that, but I don't know who. I don't know the player specifically. I don't who.
Yeah, I mean, we might not know who he is either when it's all said and done. But shout out to Double OK for the super chat. What if DJ Johnson picked this season 3 to completely ball out? Yeah, that's a lot of hope.
Yeah,
that's a lot of hope, my guy.
A lot of hope and prayer. A lot of hope and prayer, bro.
Look, man, A-Cash, I don't have a problem with this.
The chat killing you, bro.
Look, I don't care.
The chat is killing you, dog.
I hate y'all. I do anything to replace
That's
y'all.
for the birds. I told this is for y'all. That's fine. I told y'all. Look, man, it's fine. I own it. I will say, considering that everybody wanted this, there were a lot of folks on Twitter that did not like this pick, and I was very shocked about it. But nah, shout out to Cal for super chat, man.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it, man. So T-Mac, again, you got the size, obviously 6'4", 6'5", depending on where you're looking. He's got the elite body control and ball tracking. The catch point, Dan Morgan's talked about it. His catch radius is crazy. He can catch the ball anywhere, and I think that's the biggest thing. I think people that don't like the pick need to step away, right, and not necessarily look at the individual player and analyze the player. You have to look at this as a perfect marriage to Bryce Young's play style, right? Bryce Young and how he plays, it's like a puzzle piece. The piece of T-Mac marries perfectly to Bryce Young's play style. And the way T-Mac can get the off platform and come back to the football, bro, Bryce Young, when the play breaks down, he's gonna be able to find T-Mac going deep. Like, it's a perfect match for Bryce Young. Like, these guys need to be in the lab together. I'm sure they already are. I'm sure they're already talking. But the chemistry that they develop is going to be very, very important, because when the play breaks down and T-Mac, he points this and it starts to look like backyard football, that is where we win. That's the dub. That is the dub. So, again, strengths for T-Mac, elite body control, like I said, big catch radius, smooth route runner. I think he's a better route runner than people give him credit for. I think his route tree is better than what people give him credit for. I think the quarterback he played with was a bit mid, which doesn't get talked about when you look at T-Mac. And, even with all that, he still had elite production. And we're going to talk about that production in just a second. But he was super productive, like super, super duper productive. And Dan Morgan, if you go back and listen to one of his pressers, he said, oh, yeah, we like productive guys. We're going to pick guys that are productive. We're getting away from that projecting, and we want guys that put up numbers. And that's what T-Mac did in college. That's what he did at Arizona. You know what I mean? So as far as developmental areas, he's got, again, versus press, we got to see if he can get off those jams. Is he going to be able to handle the physical? He's a little bit slender. We know that. Probably going to put on some weight. Top end separation. He's got to get the head of steam. So I think Dave Canales and Izzik need to find creative ways to scheme T-Mac open so he can get a head of steam, put him in motion, things like that, so he can get going. because obviously he's got to prove he can win against the more elite cornerbacks in the league. He's going to be lined up against CB1s, right? I believe he's immediate wide receiver 1. I believe you're going to – and obviously Dave Canales said he's an immediate starter, so he kind of believes it too a little bit. He ain't said wide receiver 1 per se, but
he's one of the 3. He's going to be one of the 3, I'll tell you that.
One other concern that you could talk about with T-Mac – excuse me. I keep wanting to call him Ted. I said T-Mac.
You said T-Mac. You had it.
I know. I thought I said.
You did
a
Ted Mac. You probably said you about to say Ted Mac.
Yeah, I was about to say Ted Mac. But the one thing with T-Mac is that sometimes, and this is what other folks have said about him when they watch his films, he checks out, right?
Oh nah, man.
When he's not getting the football, he's checking out. And some scouts have said that sometimes their offensive coordinators tell them to do that. Hey, take this play off because you ran 3 consecutive go routes. So take this play off. Don't worry about it. So that could be something that the guys tell him. I hope that's not the case. I think he's juiced up. I think he's gonna be ready to go. I don't anticipate any issues. I like T-Mac a lot. I love this pick, and we're gonna talk to why I love it a little bit more. But obviously, you look at the measures: 6'4", 219. Hopefully, he can get a little bit bigger. But the 10-inch hands are crazy. I saw his hands like face to face, and bro, his hands are huge, bro. His hands are huge. Like those are legit 10-inch hands. So I love it. I love it. Love this pick. Y'all know I love it. I've been saying that I wanted T-Mac, excuse me, the entire draft season. I've been saying it, and I love this pick. All right, a couple things here.
Let me get these super chats before we get too far into the weeds. Big D,
It's about to get real weedy.
I know. No, not getting high. Receiving on all levels vastly improved. Appreciate the super chat. Big D, no Kool-Aid sipping. Steve Hagler, I'm just like Dave. Felt much better after the second day. Dave, I got your back. I don't think we flip-flop. I don't think I flipped off either, personally. I just observed. And shout out to Drew Mix, Relaxing Sounds. Perfect marriage. Finally have someone who can draw safety help. Man, thank God. Watching those super long, hard 15-play drives made me want to put holes in the wall every year since we've gotten rid of Teddy Bridgewater. Thank you again for the big super chat, Drew Mix, Relaxing Sounds.
Man, we appreciate that, brother.
Absolutely. Double O Kane. I need a T-Mac versus JC squabble at camp that we're not going to see.
Oh,
Oops,
yeah,
it's
we're
closed
not going to see it
this year and next.
But they already been kind of going back and forth. My man JC said seatbelts come in all sizes. Okay, he said he's ready for the smoke, and I love it. It's iron sharpens iron. I think it's gonna be great. Obviously, hopefully, we'll be able to get to see at least 1 or 2 practices. Because it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I think the talent level on his roster is starting to get better, starting to elevate, and they're gonna do nothing but make each other better. Now, I want to point your attention to this chart. You know what I mean? Because when you look at this production, it's very, very good. You know what I mean? So, and look at where this guy is lining up. And he's obviously lining out wide X for the majority of his snaps, but does and has lined up in the slot a couple of times. Average depth of target 14 yards, which is crazy. And then yak 5 yards. He's a yak monster, bro. He is elite after the catch, and I'm telling you, when those plays break down and it turns into backyard football, that is where T-Mac, keep calling him Ted. I bet that's where T-Mac gets off, bro. It's gonna be crazy. But this is interesting information here, and he lines up at the top. A couple more things here. Again, I talked about it earlier. Production. We've got a guy that actually produced in college. It's no more projects. We know what we got. We know what we got in T-Mac, bro. No, respectfully. All due respect. Jonathan Mingo is not on the roster. Xavier Leggett is still, developing. T-Mac is ready. He's ready. That's what makes that. There's a difference. Okay, production matters. The college production matters, and that's what we got in T-Mac. All right, I just want to throw that out there. This was put up by the shout out to F-Ball Insights on X. Look them up. All right, and again, these charts. What I say earlier, you want to be on this side. Okay? Look at some of the guys that are nice in the league. You want to be where Adunze is. You want to be where the Worthies are. Neighbors, Harrison. These guys are all in this upper quadrant. That's where you want to be. That's a good sign. That's a really good sign.
Is Horn on this chart somewhere? He probably didn't have enough catches. I don't see him. No, I don't see him. No, he ain't up there. There's a couple Colorado. Colorado had more wide receivers drafted than any other team.
Yeah.
Fun fact of the day.
I don't see him.
There's a couple Colorado folks on there, other than outside of Hunter too. But I don't see him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't see him either. So again, when you look at the chart, again, he's ready. He could get open, and this is basically career yards per route run versus versus press coverage, right? So run splits versus coverage. So this guy, very, very good. He can get open versus physical DBs. Shows good awareness to get awareness and route timing in space. I think he shows very good pace in his routes. He kind of lulls guys to sleep and then has a burst and then he's out of there. Reliable and just balanced. Again, he's a balance. He can play against man. He can play against press. Very, very good. He doesn't need manufactured touches to be productive. So you don't have to put him in jet sweeps or anything like. You don't have to do any of that. He's just very good, solid wide receiver. And I'm going to be excited to see in training camp that one practice, whether it's Fan Fest where we can watch the guys practice. I want to see him line up against the best. So him up against JC, the timing and chemistry with Bryce Young, the backyard football. I want to see all that stuff. The effort. Can he block, right? Because that's important too. All that is important. So I'm excited to see all that stuff. All that. I'm ready. I want to see it all. So T-Mac, I'm excited for the pick. I love the pick. And I can't wait to see it out there.
Shout out to ACAS for the super chat. Every time Shad says respectfully, whatever he says sounds even more disrespectful.
What did I say? What did I say?
No, to the effect when you're talking about a wide receiver, respectfully. We got somebody that could do things. Respect. Yes, you did. Yes.
My bad.
Don't worry, man. I tell folks all the time. If I start my sentence respectfully, all the disrespect is coming. It's just the way it goes. So, But there it is.
Yeah, man. Yep. All right. So again, this is just you want to be in this top quadrant, and it's good. That's where you want to be. All right. Again, I gave it an A+. Let me see what y'all gave it. Let me see what the chat is saying. Go ahead.
What's the percentage looking like?
84%.
Oh, okay. So all right. So my take was not on it. It was still less than the other two picks.
84% say A, 13% say B, 1% say C, and 1% says D. So we're in that poll.
Yeah, I will say this. My take was I don't think this one was going to be as close as the others. It was going to be closer than the others, which it was, but it was still pretty high, which is good. Because if you looked at my timeline looked like they ain't like this pick when it first happened. And I'm like, I know folks wanted defense, and I was one of those folks. However, I mean, it still fixes the problem. It fixes the problem. And that's why we got to discuss this wide receiver, this room now, bro. Because this room is crowded now. This room is crowded. Like now you pretty much have 4 locks in my eyes. Some would say 5. T-Mac, Leggett, Thielen, Coker. I think those 4 are locks. And then at that point, I think everybody else fight for 5 or 6. But I would probably say Horn would probably get one of those slots, and then now pretty much you're down for the final one. I think you're down to the last spot at that point. So like, I know some folks want to count Coker out, and I think that's a mistake, in my opinion.
Yeah, why are we counting Coker out already? That's crazy.
Yeah, bro. Like, and I'm like, yo, you guys. I'm not there. I ain't rolling. Now you can't count him out. I think he's a lot. I really do. I think everybody else is fighting for other roles at that point. And because rookies do get cut. Like, let's not do this. They do get cut. I mean, Coker was our highest PFF receiver last year, and you guys are trying to count that man out. And I don't think XL's counted out either, man. He's the first round pick. He's gonna get another year. Like we're out here trying to.
What are we doing? What are we talking about?
But those comments like that prove my point about drafting T-Mac. because then people are going to be like, well, what are we going to do with Leggett? Like, that's wild to me.
Yeah, what are we talking about, bro? If anything, I see the guys like David Moore out of here.
Yeah.
Guys like who else is on the back end of the roster? I could see him keeping 6.
I could see him keeping 6. And if they keep 6, though, that means more safe. Crazy enough. Based on this depth chart, unless Renfro shows something. If Renfro shows something, then it becomes different.
Well, yeah, so T-Mac, obviously, T-Mac is a lock. Xavier Leggett, I think, is not going anywhere. Thielen, that's 3. Coker, Horn, and Renfro. That's who I see. I see David Moore up out of here, bro. I'm going to be honest with you.
We signed 6 receivers. T-Mac, XL, Thielen, Coker, Moore, and Horn or Renfro. What thoughts, gentlemen? I mean, T-Mac, XL, Thielen, Coker. I mean, it's early, by the way, and Horn, and I'll probably give the last spot to Renfro if he shows something. Like, we got to see what he looks like. I think if
Renfro, we don't know what Renfro looks like.
If Renfro shows more, then then I think he's going to beat out David Moore. But I think the coaching staff love David Moore, and I think that's an X factor. But I think these top 4 guys.
David Moore would be a good practice squad player too. Like, I don't think anybody's itching to get David Moore on their roster. And if they do, then that's cool. But David Moore is a veteran guy that you could stash on the practice squad and just kind of let him coach and be a mentor from there. And then allow these other guys to cook. Where, again, Horn, Renfro, Coke, like, these guys can cook. You know what I mean? Let them cook.
Hey, Cash, hold up. Dave was the one saying he would be concerned about XL's future if we took T back. Don't be backtracking. I'm not backtracking. I'm not really backtracking.
Did you say that? Did you say that?
Oh yeah. But that don't mean he's going to get cut after the first year. Like, come on, guys. That's not what I said. Yeah, it's a concern. You make the decision to you took Leggett, and then you draft a wide receiver in the top 10 the following year. Yeah, it's a concern. But he ain't getting cut. Like, what are we talking about here? He ain't getting cut. Y'all out here in the chat talking about he gonna get cut. He ain't getting cut. That's insane. Y'all don't think we keep 7 receivers? We deep. If we keep 7 receivers, then we're gonna have to lose a position somewhere else. We just drafted a tight end. How are we gonna keep 7 receivers? Like,
yeah, it's gonna be interesting how they.
We ain't keeping 7 guys. Like, unless you change the role of Horn and call him just kick returner, punt returner, then you're okay, maybe. But other than that, no. And then even if we do, that you're only probably going to suit 4 or 5 in a game. You're not going to suit all 6. So no. See, I think we got another super chat, I believe. Let me double check. No, we don't.
Real quick, while you pull that up, we have we're about just under about 68 58 subs, excuse me, from 24,000. So hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button.
We need to get there, man. The statistics show that most folks who watch are not subscribed.
That's a fact.
Subscribing is free.
That's what the analytics say, Dave.
That's what the analytics say. Data don't lie.
All right, Dave. Give me your overall while we shut this thing, because we gave y'all a nice long show. Dave, give me your overall thoughts for grade and thoughts for the draft.
Overall, I give the draft an A. I think, is there flaws? Yes. I feel like we didn't walk out of this draft with a linebacker, and maybe we could have done that instead of taking NTN. But I'm not super mad at the NTN pick. Out of all the picks, that's probably the weakest one. Is probably that. Even though my grades don't really, that and the tight end. I'm not the tight end was, I get it. It was a good value pick, but I think the needs were somewhere else. If you guys out here talking about keeping 7 wide receivers, you don't draft a tight end, you don't draft a running back. That's just my opinion on it. But I give it an A. I think everybody say you can't get every single position filled, but there were other players and other slots that we probably could have taken. But this is an A for me. This might end up being the best draft with the Tepper era when it's all said and done. When it's all said and
I was
done.
about to say, bro, let's relax a little bit. But you said,
No, I said when it's all said and done.
No. And you said during the temper era, so you're good.
During the temper era. Yeah. No. I wasn't gonna. No.
But I think. But I'm gonna be honest, Dave, though, because since we're talking history, I think this is the most highly touted draft class I've ever seen being praised in the national media, bro. Like the national media loves this draft class, and I've never seen it as a Panthers fan. I've never seen our draft class get this much praise. I haven't seen it.
PFF gave it an A+.
Seen it. I have not seen it.
They only gave 3 A+, and one of them went to us. The draft, like, I didn't see nothing lower than a B anywhere.
Yeah, so bro, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't see nothing lower than an A.
I've seen some B's. I've seen some B+, and I've seen some B's, but overall, it was pretty good. Like normally we would get heat for something, and I kind of gave the things that I would probably tinker, like it's a tinkering type of thing, but overall, it's a pretty damn good draft. And like I said, this is the best one during the Tepper era by far. Like this has a chance. This draft has a chance to be special.
Yeah. I think continuity, right? This is what continuity gets you. When you have a good, consistent front office, consistent coaching, you can actually start to build something. So we're done with all the coaching carousel and hiring coaches every year. Once you're done with that, this is what you get, and now we have some stability. And I'm hopeful that that Canales and company, that coaching staff, can actually coach these guys up and get them in the proper position to where they can succeed. And we can start to see some of these draft picks actually develop into stars, right? We have not seen that since Derrick Brown, since, Brian Burns before he left. Like, obviously JC's done it, but we're only seeing like one or two guys do it. And we need entire classes to knock it out the park and not just be like role players. We need them to elevate to be Pro Bowlers. That's how you take your team to the next level. And I feel like we got a couple of guys, especially Princely and Scourton. I think those two dudes can be serious problems if they develop and they stay on the right path, and the coaches can coach them up.
You remember the Star and KK draft? This one reminds me of that a bit. The way we double dip in the defensive tackle slot, we kind of did because it was at the time defensive tackle was a big need for us, and I think we're doing the same thing now with the edge rushers. So I love what we did in this draft, and then we ended up getting a wide receiver one to boot. So I love what we did in this draft. It worked. Everything fell the way it should be.
I think this is an interesting question. I think T-Mac can get it. I think if there's an instant connection between him and Bryce, I think T-Mac can get 1,000-yard season. I think that, and I'm not expecting that from him. Let's be clear. Expectation versus what I think are two different things, right? I think he can have 1,000-yard season. If he gets 1,000-yard season, that's going to put you in a discussion.
Yeah, I think the dilemma he's going to have.
You're going to have to deal with Cam Ward too.
Yeah, and Travis Hunter. And
Travis Hunter too.
Travis Hunter. And the thing is, Travis is going to be fascinating because I don't know how they're going to split it up for him in Jacksonville, because he's going to play both. He got announced as both positions when he got drafted. So Travis Hunter might be a unicorn. He might get a shot at both of these things depending on what he does if they let him play that much, which is nuts, by the way.
That's gonna be tough, bro. It's the NFL,
I know, but dog, it'll be something to watch all season, man. If they legitimately let him do both sides full time, which I don't think is gonna happen, but if they do, oh my God, bro, he could win both of these.
We'll see.
That's wild. Would like to sit down and think about that is wild to me. And
did we get all the super chats, Dave?
Nah, I got a couple more. It was like two more. Yeah, Big D, no Kool-Aid sipping. Always look forward to PNP. Great work, brothers. And Pancake JLIS. Before he got hurt, I feel like JT was doing what we want T-Mac to do, and he's 6'4" All of his catches were wild.
Bro, I saw a pic on X. They said Bryce walking in a training camp was a Muggsy Bogues pic with him and his teammates. they was all towering over him, bro. I thought that was funny. But yeah, you got 6'4" Jatavion, 6'4", 6'5" T-Mac, 6'3" Coker. All these dudes are tall, bro. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be exciting, bro. This is not your Panthers from a few years ago, bro. Like this is going to be a really good really good team, and hopefully they're well coached. We'll see, bro.
It'll be fascinating season, bro.
And Granger, who was 6'7", 6'8". I think he's 6'8", 6'9". I thought 6'8", 6 whatever. But anyway, next week we will be doing the undrafted guys unless something crazy comes up. I know I didn't talk. Y'all were talking about when we talked about the wide receivers. I didn't talk about Kobe. I didn't talk about Jacoby. I got homework to do, y'all. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. So we got to go in, lock in on the undrafted guys, see where everything lands, because I don't think they're done yet. Because they haven't announced it. As soon as they announce
the reason why they might not have announced it is that they got to get under 90. Like they signed a lot of players, but they got to get under 90. So they probably got to figure that out too. There's going to be a lot of shifting that's going to happen over the next few days, so they can get at the 90 point.
Yeah. So we'll see. We got a ways to go. So as soon as we see that undrafted class announced, then we'll get to it and break it down, and we'll pull up some highlights and stuff like that, and we'll see. But yeah, man, good stuff, good show. We will see y'all next week. Make sure on your way out, hit that subscribe button. Like I said earlier, like Dave said, the analytics show that only half of y'all are likely subscribed to the actual channel that watch. So please hit that subscribe button. Help us get to 24,000 subscribers so that we can then get to 25,000 subscribers and have a big celebration. We can have a big party once we have 25K, Dave. I expect that. Oh, yeah. One thing we didn't talk about is Clowney. And yeah, that's something else we'll have to talk about, potentially Clowney and him.
Here's your tease for next week.
Yeah, we got to talk about that too.
He might be.
Yeah, for sure.
He might be.
Could be up out of here, bro. You never know.
That cap hit might be.
Yeah.
You have two heads, right? This is why you could have did a third. By the way, this worker did a third. So taking the 10, you could do a third. Then you knew he was going in. Yeah, but he's probably packing. He's probably it might be over for him. Might be a wrap. But we'll talk about that more in details next week.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week. That's my bad. I did want to talk about that today, but we're butting up against 10 o'clock, and we never go this late. We only go about an hour and a half most of the time. We went 2 hours. Well, lots of good content, but I never want to rush a topic, so I try to get to everything. We just didn't get to it. So with that said, like, subscribe, notification bell, get in the comments. We'll holler at y'all next week. We out of here.